Alright, remember, let's go for it. We are doing our exam preparation, but we are also aiming for our cycle test, isn't it? So we kickstart with what? With equations. As we know, in the end, we must say x is equals to. So what am I talking about? Wow. Look at that color. So I've got what? 6 blocks for you. Why are they 6? You look at the structure of all of them. You will see that there is a difference. Each one serving a purpose. Will I do all of them? Of course, I will do all the blocks, but not everything in each block. So we're gonna start with the yellow block. In the first video, I will select one of them, maybe 2. Then we go to this block at the bottom, then we go to the top block. Then in another video, we'll take these beautiful colors separately. Then in the last video, we come this side. This is what? This is our trickiest of them all. These two are the tricky duo. Right, the first 3 are our simplest what? Simplest set. So remember, you could have done all of them in your notebook. I want you to go and redo them on a separate clean so that you can see whether they have been internalized in your system. You are able to do them without any mistakes within a reasonable time, and you are perfect. Now we are doing what? Accuracy. Then when you're done, you can actually compare your answers with what we have. So first start with the ones that I will select. So at the beginning of the video, I tell you which ones I select. So once you've seen what I've selected, you pause the video, do them on your own first, then you go back and view, because you know at Math So Easy, we do before we view. Then if you are sharp like that, you are happy, you can do the rest or maybe a bunch. And then when we meet on our one-to-one session, our group sessions, you can also raise anything that you are still feel shaky about. So remember, enjoy. Alright, remember, let's go for it. How did it go? Did you do all of them or did you just select a few? So let's see which ones will I take. I think what I'll do, remember, I'll take the first 2 here and then I'll take this one. Okay, then you can do the rest or check your rest. Then this one, we can say it will borrow from this one, and then this one also will borrow from this one. What I'm going to do, then I'll take one from there. Alrighty, so let us see. So in your test, they will give you one of these, the simplest one. They will give you the first one. So we have what? We have y plus 7 is equals to 4, isn't it? Okay. So what number was there in y such that when I add 7, I get 4? I discover that by doing what? By saying I don't want that 7 there. If I don't want that 7, I remove it by doing what? By adding its additive inverse. So it means on the left, I would have added that. I'll show you just now. So this is the simplest. Then here, our integers, what do we have? A bigger number is the 7. If I subtract both of them, I'll get a what? I'll get a 3. But the bigger number has what? Has a negative. So it means my y is equals to negative 3. Okay, so it's as easy as all of that. Otherwise, in a multiple choice, they give you this. You can just circle the answer there without even doing all these things. Right, so what did I skip there? I skipped this process, which we start by using when we show you what happens. If I only want a certain term on the left on its own, what do I do? The rest of the other terms, I add the additive inverse. And what I do on the left, I also do on the right. So that one we skip. By the time we get to exam and test level, we no longer do all of this. So that's what happens there. Then obviously here, you know that I have positive 4 and then negative 3. Right, this is just for demonstration. Please don't do this because you'll get too many numbers like 25. If you have 25, are you going to put 25 of these? Okay, it's not going to make sense. Then if I have 7 of these, I'll have 1, 2, 3, negatives 4. Then I'll have 7, isn't it? So if I have 7 negatives, these do what? They cancel out. So I'm left with what? With 3 negatives. So that's why I have a negative 3. So this is the logic. The other logic that I like using is that if I owe somebody 7 rand and then I pay 4 rand, I still owe that person 3 rand. Okay, so I don't have extra. And then if I owe, it means the next time I get money, I must subtract 3 rand because I'm going to do what? I'm going to give this person their 3 rand. So that's how you reason it out. But otherwise, when you have two numbers that have opposite signs, you just subtract them. And then the answer, you take the sign of the biggest one. Simple as that. All right. Then let's do number 2. In number 2, what did they have? They had n minus 2 is equals to what? Is equals to negative 5. So if I have n minus 2 equals to negative 5, what do? I simply do this. I say I add in my imagination a positive 2 so that the negative 2 cancels and it becomes 0. Then if I added a 2, I also add a 2 on the right hand side. Then my final answer would be what? Would be negative 3. How's that? Easy peasy, just like that. So let me see. Yeah, again, here, if I add a positive 2, these will be 0. I added a positive 2, I must add a positive 2 there. And then this one, as I've just explained there, that's what you do. You subtract both of them, you get the answer. Which one had a bigger, which sign had a bigger number? Which sign had a bigger number? The 5 had a bigger number. So my answer will be negative. Think like that. All right. Oh, which number had a negative sign? The 5 had a negative sign. I think you catch me, my member. Right now, before I go to the one with the denominator, I just want to add something here. Now, if you wanted to check whether your answer is correct, what would you do? You would take this, all right? You would say, okay, if I test, so let's say I test, I say, okay, I have y plus 7. What happens when I take negative 3? Because my variable is just a what? It's just a temporary variable that we use. It's a position taker. Yeah. Placeholder. So this y had taken the position of a certain number, but now we know that number. That number is what? It's negative 3. So if I have negative 3 and a 7, what will my answer be? My answer will be a 4. Okay, so that's how you do it. So you can also test this side, but don't do this before you finish the rest of the paper. People who do that do what? People who do that, they do it because they don't know the other work. So they just want to keep themselves busy so that there's no time. The teacher says, time out. Then they have to submit the paper without doing the other work. So don't waste time. So this is just to check yourself. You can do it in your head. Otherwise, if you want to write it, come back later. Okay. Otherwise, if you want to do it now, you must be fast when you do these things. Okay, member, I think I'm happy with that. So we can now do the one with the denominator. What happens with the one that has a denominator? Let's see. So the one with the denominator, when we have a certain number on the left, we remove it by either a plus or a negative. Now, in this instance, we don't have the number next to the term. Okay, so what do we have here? We have 2x over 3 is equals to 4. So here, what is this? This is a division, isn't it? Okay, so this is a division. So this is divide. Now, if I don't want this denominator, I must remove it by multiplying by the denominator. Okay, right. So what am I going to do? I do not want this 3. So it is a denominator. For it to even out, for it to dissolve, to disappear, I disappear it by multiplying by it. Right, I'll show you what's going to happen now. Right, this is the long way of doing this. Then here we say equals. I wanted to say that if we do something on the left, what did I do? I multiplied by 3. I must also multiply by 3. Now, what happens here? I can think of it this way. I can think of it twice. It will be 6x, or I can think of it like this. So this is the same as 3 over 3 times 2x. And what happens here? I'm only going to have a what? A 1, and I multiply by 2x. And if I multiply anything by 1, it becomes itself. So that's one way of thinking about it. So it means all I do is I can just shift this so that it goes under here. Then I know that when I divide, I have a 1. Then this 1 makes the 3 to disappear. If I put it that way, then I have what? I have 2x. Then I multiply by 1, I get 2x. Okay, so it means here it is all these steps. So I am doing this because some of you may have become used to this and they still depend on it, and it takes time to look at the other options. Then what do? I can say x is equals to 6. So I must check what happens with the marks. Are there too many marks? Is it 2 marks or is it 3 marks? If it's 2 marks, don't do too many things. You don't need to do these things. I'll show you just now. You also don't need to do this. Okay, this is what we do to show you how you get to the final answer, so that you understand how does 2x change to become x. You divide by its, you divide the coefficient by itself. All right, so this step is not necessary. Which other step? This step is not necessary. Okay, so these ones are, so let me tell you which ones are important. The step that is important is this one. Remember, that is a question, isn't it? So this one is important. You must have that one. Then what else can you have? You can have, right, because you've introduced the 3 there, the 3 and the 3 divide to make 1. So immediately you can say, if I have done this, I'm going to divide and I'm going to get a 1. I don't need to show it. So it means I can simply come here and then I can come there. Those are the 3 steps. Okay. So that's just to remind you. Simply done, what do? You simply say, I don't have a denominator here. I have a denominator there. I just do what? I just cross multiply. Cross multiply that way. I don't have anything. I have an invisible one. It's not going to change that. So I simply do this. Then what do I have? I have a 2x is equals to 12. I am here already. Then I can say x is equals to 6. Look at that. Look at that. It's as simple as that. So do not worry yourself too much by this process. If you are still here, it's fine. Then during holidays, weekends, start to shape your mind to start thinking this way. All right. Right now, let me show you one last one. Somebody will say, I say my teacher said no. Right. So your teacher could have said 2x over 3 is equals to 4. Then your teacher could have used this one. Then if your teacher used this one, what would they have done? They would have said 3 times 2x over 3 is equals to 4 times 3. Then it would have also involved another long process. Then the teacher would say, multiply those two. Then you'll have what? You'll have 6x over 3. Multiply these two. Then what happens to this 3? It divides into this one. What will happen now? I will have 2x is equals to 12. Then I can divide by 2. So I'll have what? I'll have x is equals to 6. So, maths so easy. It's giving you how many options? There they are. Okay, you can just take one of them, whichever one suits your comfort. Right, most people follow this one. I don't have a problem with any of them. All right, but try to skip some of the steps. Okay, member. So we've done the easiest ones of them all. Now we can go to these ones and then we talk about what is happening there. Why are they different? Okay, member. Right, let's take a hand stretch and then just take a breather. And then we meet again in another video.